Okay, so well, this turkey's all cubed, and I've got my nice jars. These are nice and clean. Scrub them with the wee brush inside. Make sure there's no dead food from using them before. What I'm going to do is just start packing this turkey meat into these jars. I think I'm being a wee bit optimistic that it's going to fill this many. I doubt it very much, but that's okay. I can change. I can do things a wee bit differently. Just pack it down as much as I can. I don't really want more than that in there. And I'm going to do pint size. A couple of pint size. The meat is so cold, we've been in the fridge. Let's get as much meat as you want into each one of the jars. And we're going to call that good. Now let's just get my hands washed. What I am going to do is I'm going to top these up just with water to the 1 inch headspace, which is just below this line. And top each one, just the rim in this one. Just let the water go down. And take these out of your way, you'll be able to see. You can see it bubbling down in there. That's fine. I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do here. All the bubbles. Alright, so with each jar, I'm going to see all the bubbles coming up. I'm going to go right around the outsides of the jar with this debubbling tool and down into the centre. Just make sure you debubble really well. You'll hear it, you hear the noise of it. And when you're happy that you've got all the bubbles out, then with this little tool, there's markings on it: 1 inch, 3/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/4 inch. So I want from here to here, from the top of my jar. Just check it. Just needs a slight little bit of water just to bring it up, and that jar is good. So I'm going to do this with each one of these. Just go around the sides, all the air bubbles will come up. If there's any trapped air in amongst the meat, will come up in the centre. I'm pretty happy with that. Just poke it down again, and same thing. I want an inch headspace. So I just bring the water up till it's just touching the green bit on the tool. It's 2. And you see all the bubbles releasing. Around the centre. And again, just fill up to the inch with your measuring on your tool. And last one. Look at all those bubbles coming up there. It's very important you get all the bubbles out. There would be trapping air in there, and go down the centre. I'm just paranoid that I'm not getting all the bubbles, so I debubble really good. And most people would probably fill these jars full with meat, but there we go, that's the inch headspace. So now put this away. Wash my hands again, guys. I was just getting some vinegar, so get a clean cloth with vinegar and go right around the rim of each one of your jars, because I'm using turkey, in case there's any fat deposits or anything. Just give that a good clean. Change your rag. And fresh dip for each one. You just want to make sure the top's nice and clean, because you don't want your jar lids not to stick. I think that's probably about the worst thing that can happen, is you run a canner for, I'm going to be running the canner for 90 minutes here because I've got quart jars. If I was doing all pints, it would be 75 minutes. And unfortunately, because I don't have 7, my canner holds 7 jars, I'm going to have to jar up some water, which is fine. Now, this will go into the canner along with the jars. I've got my lids here. So, for the round, small round top, just place your lid on. And wide mouth. Wide mouth. And regular mouth. And I've got my rings. Put your ring on. It can be fiddly sometimes, these. That's us now. And you just do it finger tight. Where's my other one? Finger tight. Finger tight every time. That's it. Now, these 4s get into the canner, and then I'm going to fill these 3, sorry, with water. I want the canner to be full before I turn it on. A fuller canner works better. It takes less time. So I'll just space these ones out. And I don't have to be too fussy with these, just fill them with water. They're just going to fill the space up in the canner, so it doesn't take an absolute age to get it to go. And just guesstimate with these. I don't need to rub the tops or anything because no food in them, just plain old tap water. As I say, these are just to fill the space in the canner. I've got an instant pot to do canning in as well, but those big jars don't seem to like to be in mine, and for meat products I like to use the big Presto. Move you over there, and you can go there. And try and bring you over so you can see inside. Oops, my cable's about to fall. Lift you up. Well, you can see my jar's nice and snug in there. If I'd left all that room free, then it takes an absolute age for this canner to fill or to come up to pressure, because it's giving out steam. So what I'm going to do now is oops, put that in there. So everything's cold, my can is cold. I've got my tray in the bottom, so the jars aren't sitting on the bottom. I've got 3 litres of cold water in here. I've got, you see me putting the jars in, cold meat, cold water. And I just need to get a lighter. Turn my gas on. Oh goodness. There we go, that's lit. So I've turned it up high, just slightly down from high, and I'm going to put my lid on. So the lid, you want to look through this vent hole. This is the vent plug. You want to look through that in the daylight. You look out through the daylight, you can see daylight through it. It's very important. That's where all the excess air is going to come out. The steam's going to push all that air out. Make sure this is tight, and that you're secure we vent, and also that you're oh, what do you call this? Oh, I can't think of the word. Is secure. The rubber ring, sorry. Right, so I have to even my arrows up. So my arrow's there. I need to turn this round because the gauge will be at the back. So I get my arrows to match, push down slightly and pull the handles closed. and make sure it's sitting pretty sturdy on the, I have to move this one over a tad to get the full ring, but it's absolutely fine, nobody will touch this. So I've got my heat on, it's on quite high, it's the centre of the plate at the bottom, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wait until this gets really hot, and the water in the bottom will turn to steam and it will push all that air out. So the air will all come out of this vent, and once I get a constant steady stream of steam, try saying that with a few gin in you. Once this starts to spew steam and it's a constant steady stream, then I will put my timer on for 10 minutes. So I'll give the canner time to push all that air, excess air out, and then I will be putting my 10-pound weight on. But that's going to take a while because everything's cold, and this is a big pot. This is a 23-quart pot, but it was a good investment and I'm happy I have it. Okay, so this is actually safe for me to do. I'm just going to unscrew the lid. I forgot something that I like to do, and the vinegar I was using to clean around the jars, I'm just going to drop that in. That keeps the jars from catching any lime scale of the water, and it also seems to keep my canner nice and clean inside, because I wash it in the bath after every time I use it. It's too big for our sinks. Okay guys, I brought you in a wee bit closer so you can see. This has been on for quite a while now. I had to turn it down low because storage ran out on my camera, so I had to deal with that. Now I've turned the heat right up again, and as you can see, the steam's starting to come, but that's not good enough. I need it to be like a heavy stream of steam before I put my timer on for 10 minutes. So that's giving the canner a chance to expel all the air out. There'll only be steam in there. And this is going to get up to about 240 degrees or higher. And with that heat, it'll kill any bacteria that's in these jars, and these jars will stay shelf stable for me. So that's still not good enough for me. I want it to be really spouting. And she's going like a choo-choo train there now. So Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes please.
10 minutes, starting now.
So it's going straight up the steam, okay? So I'm going to let this go for 10 minutes, and after the 10 minutes is up, I'll put my weight on. I'll bring you back when I'm doing that. Okay guys, so this has been spewing steam for almost 10 minutes. I think my timer's about to go off. Steam's coming out of here, but once I put this weight on, this will lock into place. This will pop up. That means that the top will not open. There's no way it'll open. Alexa, how long is left in the timer? We've got 10 seconds left. Put my weight on now, which is 10 pounds pressure, and this will pop up. Alexa, off. So now I'm going to keep my heat up, and I'm going to watch my gauge until it starts rising, and when it gets near 10 on the gauge, then this little jiggler weight will start rocking, and I go by this. I don't go by this. I always go by the jiggler. Once it starts moving, I know it's hit 10 pounds of pressure, because I'm below 1,000 feet sea level, so I need 10 pounds of pressure for my area. And once this starts rocking and I get a constant wee jiggle, I'm going to turn the heat down until the lowest setting I can get it at to keep this moving. If this stops at any stage, then I would have to restart the process again, and nobody wants that. You don't want to be doing that. It takes long enough as it is, but I enjoy it. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this here until it starts moving. There's still a lot of pressure inside. First time I did this was very scary. I had a chair and I sat and watched it the whole time. But the more times you do it, the more confident you get with it. And you don't want to be leaving the house, leaving this going, because this is actually quite, I'm not going to say dangerous piece of kit, but you have to know what you're doing and be careful with it. So don't be intimidated by it. It's actually very therapeutic to learn a new skill, which hopefully I'm doing. This is the way I do it. So you can see the gauge is slowly starting to rise. So it's building a lot of pressure inside the actual pot. Trying to bring it down a little bit more. That's a big pot, isn't it? So let this go for a little while and I'll bring you back once it gets up to near 10. I'm keeping an eye on the gauge. I can see it from here. So I've went ahead and labelled up a bag, cilantro burgers, washed my hands, and I'm going to put a layer of these in the bottom of this bag. That's 9, and I've just pulled off a bit of greaseproof paper. I'm going to put in here and put the next layer on so they don't all stick together. And they're actually quite firm, which I'm happy about. They're not falling to bits, so hopefully they taste good. And that's the first lot done. So tip this up to get as much air as I can out of the bag, and to make sure it's sealed. It's half sealed. And that's one lot ready for the freezer. And mark this one just natural turkey burgers. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing with these. Freeze them in single layers. There we go. Just rub off my hands here. Get these sealed up. And push down. Bring your bag lid up and try and get as much air as you can out to seal them up. And that's sealed fine. So these are going straight into the freezer. And I've got them all marked so I know exactly what's in the bag. There's nothing as bad as guessing what you have in your freezer if you don't mark it up properly. Now, I'll bring you around to the canner, which is going well here. Bring you in a wee bit closer. Sorry, make you feel sick doing that. I'm trying to get you to see the gauge. Yeah. My gauge is just past 6. So I'll bring you back when it gets another couple of pounds on it. Now you can see we're going near the 10 pounds and this little jiggler weight is starting to move slightly. So once it gets a steady rock, then I'll turn my heat down a bit. I don't want it doing a crazy dance. I want it doing a nice little jiggle. So once it starts, that's what you want to maintain, a jiggle like that. But I'm going to turn my heat right down now. And I'll not put the timer on for just yet until I get it set properly. Well, it's got a nice little jiggle on it there. I've turned the heat down by half. So I'm confident that see, it stopped again, so I need to keep my heat up for a little while longer. This is the learning curve. Starting to move again. So as I say, I don't set any timers until I get this regulated. Now it's too crazy a dance. So I'm turning my heat down slowly. Now I'm going to set my timer. Alexa, set a timer for 90 minutes, please. I'm actually going to set this on my phone as well, in case the power goes out. This is the sort of jiggle that I like to keep. Some people can get it right down, that it's just doing a little sway. but whenever I've tried to do that, it's always sort of stopped on me. So I'm happy enough if it keeps this and I can hear this noise, so I can be working away doing the dishes or whatever in the kitchen and know it's fine. If it's doing a really, really heavy rock, it's letting more of the steam out, excuse me, which you don't really want either. So try and maintain that it's not actually cracking off. You can hear the pipe. It's not cracking off the sides of the pipe. I'm happy with that little jiggle there. So my timer's on and I'm going to stay in the kitchen here and do some stuff in the kitchen, get my dishes all put away and stuff, and just let this do take its time. Okay, so I'm going to let this continue and I'll bring you back whenever it's finished, when my time's up. Okay guys, so you can hear the pressure canner still going in the background there, but I opened these earlier and I want to seal them again. So just ordinary mason jars with, this one's got garlic powder inside, and wipe around the top of the lid nice and clean, put the lid on. Same with my onion powder, just make sure that the top is nice and clean, no onion powder on it. And I got this little contraption, put it down over my wide mouth, or my regular mouth, push down, turn it on. This is going to create a vacuum, so the lid's vacuumed on. I need to actually invest in some oxygen absorbers, you know, like the little sachets, put them inside these so the contents don't get like clumped together, but this works fine for now. Just let it do its thing until it stops. There we go. Pull it off. And that jar is sealed. You can lift it by the top, sealed. I do the same with my garlic powder, just to keep everything from clumping together and going off. I don't even need to hold it. I don't know why I hold it. Took about 40 seconds to do that for each one, and just lift it off, just check it's sealed, lift it by the top, and I just every now and again when I go past I just shake this so it doesn't start clumping on me. But I'm going to get some oxygen absorbers and just stick one in on top. This garlic powder I got off Amazon, and it's, I don't know what it is about it. So I'll maybe just get granules the next time. It seems to clump very easy. That's this little gadget, and it's for mason jars. Okay, I'll be back whenever the canner's finished, guys. I don't want to take much more of your time up. I'm sure you're sick looking at me today. Okay, so this has been going now for almost 90 minutes. My timer is about to go off. Alexa, how long is left in the timer?
You have 50 seconds left.
50 seconds. I can smell a turkey here, which is nice. This has been doing a constant little jiggle. Not too noisy, which I like. Any seasoned canners out there that think I'm doing this wrong, you can let me know in the comments so I can learn more. But from any videos I've watched, this is acceptable. My dogs are running beneath my feet here, sorry. So once the timer goes off, I'm going to turn the heat off completely. There we go. Alexa, off. Alexa, off, please. So that's my heat turned straight off, and this here will stop jiggling sort of quite quickly. But you do not touch anything. Just leave everything the way it is. Bring it a wee bit closer so you can see. Make you sick, cat. You can see the jigglers slowed right down, but you do not lift that off. You do not touch because this lock's still up. I can get you closer, I think. There we go. This lock is still up. So what I do is just leave this completely and wait for this lock to actually go down. And after that goes down, then I will sort of move the jiggler a little bit, and you would know if there's any pressure in there. You would hear like the hissing or noise or whatever. And this, once this goes down, this little black button at the back, which is a safety button, it pops if anything goes wrong. That would actually just blow out and a lot of steam would come out of there. So safe piece of kit if it's used right. So I'll be back whenever this is fallen down and I've taken the jiggler off, and then I'll open the lid and let it sit without actually lifting the lid off for about 10 minutes. Just let the inside of the pot sort of climatise with the jars. Okay, I'll see you shortly, guys. Okay, so my safety valve has just popped down, which means the pressure, if I move that, there's no hissing or anything else, so I can safely take this off. And I'm just going to break the seal by moving handles over, and I'm going to let it sit like that for 10 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes, please.
10 minutes, starting now.
And after 10 minutes is up, I'll lift the lid off and we'll lift the jars out. Okay guys, so my timer's just gone off. Alexa, off. So I'm going to lift the lid off, and always lift it away from yourself. You don't want that hot steam around your face. See how much hot steam's coming out there? Just shake off the excess water. Whoa, smell in there is gorgeous. I'll just get rid of this hot lid, and now I'm going to lift the jars out. This is a little pint one first. It's still bubbling away there. I'll try and bring it over a bit towards you. You can see all the bubbles. You see it's still bubbling. It's extremely hot. So I'm just laying this down on top of a clean dry cloth. Don't want any shock. This is one of the big jars. It's all still bubbling. And that turkey's going to be fully cooked in there. and the little one, I'll not lift the other 3. These are going to bubble away for a good while. Once they start to cool down, then I should hear the seals pinging. And this is just the water ones. You can see, it's just water. I'll lift those out to cool down, and I can either keep those as bottled water, or I end up probably just chucking the water out again. There we go. And turn your around so you can see. I've just put them here. So they'll sit there and they're actually still bubbling. You see the water in this one? They'll bubble away for a while. And I'll let the canner cool down and empty the water out. Give it a good clean inside. There's no siphoning, which means nothing's come out of the jars. The water's clear. I'll let everything cool down, and then I'll wash this in the bath. Sink's not big enough for that big pot, so I'll let these cool and make sure they're sealed by tapping on them whenever they cool down. And I'll actually probably listen for the pings. You hear a ping, like the lid, once it's cooled, the lid sucks down a bit and it makes a pinging noise. And if you tap your fingers on top, you can actually hear the difference of an unsealed jar and a sealed jar. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've taken an awful lot of your time up today. Got the turkey out of the freezer, made into burgers, and a lot of the burgers back into the freezer. I've got the rest of the turkey in the jars, which once they're cooled, I'll check them all, wash them, write the date on the top, and they'll go straight back out into the pantry. And that's all for today, guys. I'm tired now. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I would appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here to Trisha's Kitchen, I'm Trisha. Even consider subscribing. This is all pretty new and I'm actually enjoying doing the videos. So hope you all have a lovely night, and see you again, guys.